So subsequently, I was diagnosed with major depression. Was then admitted at a psychiatric hospital for 3 weeks. There was one lady, Mabatu, I will never forget that lady. So she also had suicidal thoughts. And she said to the psychiatrist and the psychologist that was facilitating the session, I don't know why I want to kill myself, but I just want to kill myself. Then I raised my hand and I said to her that you actually don't want to die. You just want the pain to go away. But I want to tell you right now that you matter.
Can I start, Sonke? Welcome to SA Science Spotlight Podcast. If you are joining us for the first time, my name is Clinton Dlamini. I am your host today, but I am not alone. I'm joined by Londo on the background. Londo, say hello there.
Hi guys, so today I'm going to be your ghost lady.
Welcome, Ghost Lady. Okay, so today we are joined by a brilliant young man. I'm really excited for this episode. We were joined previously by Dr. Brian Masara from SAIP. So today we are joined by Vukosi Mashele, who is currently the media officer at SAIP as well. I'm really excited for this episode. Vukosi, welcome to the show, man. Welcome, man. How do you feel, man? I like the energy already.
No, thank you so much for having me. It's fantastic being here finally.
Welcome, man. Thank you so much. Obviously, you have a lot of things going on, man. Looking at your background and everything you do, it's quite a lot to mention. But I'd love to hear from you. Can you please tell us about your upbringing and how it shaped you to be the person that you are today?
A journey of hope, resilience, persistence, tenacity, and ultimately wanting more. That encapsulates my journey from where I come from to where I am. I'm a village boy through and through.
Wow.
Okay, from Zanin, a small village called Bon. I was born, bred, and buttered in Zanin at Bon Village. And my journey was fueled by the exposure to education from a very young age. So my parents were teachers. My mom was a teacher, my dad was the teacher. And I've always known that for one to actually live a comfortable life, you need to pursue something that is greater than you. I had no idea what that was initially. Then, after matric, I went to SMU with the hope of being a doctor. Like so many other people. However, that wasn't my journey. It wasn't my journey. I got into the space of BSc, Bachelor of Sciences, and I was intrigued by physics and statistics. I went forward with it. And after a couple of years, I graduated, and I use the word couple of years intentionally, because my journey was one filled with so many challenges, indecisiveness, interest in so many things. I call myself a multi-dimensional dynamite, mainly because I have the utmost desire to reach my full potential as a human being. And that means dabbling between so many industries, from science, psychology, life coaching, entrepreneurship, marketing, education, academia, you name it. So that's basically my journey.
Wow. Beautiful, man. You strike me as someone who, like when they say Die Hard, I used to watch the movie called Die Hard. You strike me
don't call me Die Hard for nothing.
No, man, you have such a beautiful journey. And I like the fact that you said you are saying couple of years intentionally, because I know you personally. We went to the same institution. I know you from SMU. Obviously, you went through some challenges. What are those challenges that you went through, like as a student, and how did you manage to overcome them?
Whoa, liking things, number one. I initially, obviously, as I was studying towards my BSc degree, I got introduced to the world of media, acting and broadcasting. And as a result of that, my focus had shifted from academia to now pursuing a career. And that really consumed a lot of my time. So I would go into the examination hall unprepared. And obviously, you are bound to fail, right? So my journey was filled with a lot of failures, but eventually I then emerged victorious after leaving school and going back after 2 years. It took me 9 years, actually, to complete my BSc degree.
Wow.
a 3-year degree, mine ECP, so 4-year degree. It took me 9 years, mainly because as I was busy with my studies around second year, third year, I got my breakout role as an actor on Number.
Yeah.
So I shot that, and thereafter I was like, school is not for me. I'm gonna pursue an acting career, and that itself was very challenging. But after having so many conversations with my siblings, holding family meetings, hey, Vukosi, you gotta go back. Eventually, I went back, mainly because I believe in what is the theory? The theory of completion.
Yeah.
You must finish what you start.
started.
Yeah, so I went back to complete that, and I thank God that I did, because I am today. So my journey was filled with a lot of indecisiveness as a student, challenges, lack of interest at times, lack of motivation as well. And you would know, studying physics, it's not easy.
Yeah.
You know, people really underestimate BSc. It's quite a challenging degree. So for me, it was my passion wasn't there, and this thing is challenging. But how do I navigate this whole entire journey?
Yeah.
But eventually, I completed.
Yeah, nice. You know, there's something that I want to tell you. It's something that you don't know about, but there's something you used to do every time you used to call me.
Yeah.
When you call me, you used to say, Dr. Dlamini.
Yeah.
And I was going through a hard time, I think around 2022 during my PhD studies. But whenever you called me and said, Dr. Dlamini, that used to give me motivation and courage to say, no, man, I need to actually become a doctor because this guy is calling me a doctor and I'm not a doctor. So when you're giving me your story and your background, that is taking me to like, wow, man, that's why I say you are a diehard. You really have a beautiful journey. Not everybody can take so many years to complete it, 4 years degrees, like 9 years.
Yeah.
That is really inspiring. Keep on doing that. Obviously, now you are currently at SAIP, which
Look
is
at you,
yeah,
Dr. Dlamini.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. Currently, you are at South African Institute of Physics, SAIP. What are you doing there? What role are you taking, and what are the things you're doing currently there?
So Saib came at a very interesting point in my life where I was pivoting from the things that I was doing initially. So when Saib arose, it was a matter of trying to bridge the gap between the two of my passions,
Okay.
which are media,
Yes.
entertainment, and science, of course, because I have a science degree, a physics degree.
Yes.
So at SAIP, I am the media liaison officer. So I
Okay.
am basically in charge of everything that you see on TV and
Okay.
radio and social media related to SAIP.
Okay.
So the many works and projects that we do behind the scenes, my responsibility, it is to communicate that with the media. Media, I mean, broadcasters, newspaper, print media, traditional media, and online media. So that's the work that I do. But over and above that, I also introduced a workshop that I pitched to council and they actually approved, which is to host metric revision workshops for learners that are in grade 12. Many of them were struggling. You know, you would have seen that the pass rate for physical sciences in 2024 it dropped by 1.3%.
Yeah.
And that goes to show that there's so much work that has to be done within the basic education level.
Yes.
So I introduced that, and that is a project that we are expanding on throughout the whole of 2025, expanding to different provinces and different schools as well.
Yeah.
So that's basically the work that I do there. So it's media within physics.
Yeah.
So I communicate effortlessly because I do understand scientific principles.
Yes.
And I also understand how media works. So it's like something about killing two birds with one stone.
Yeah. Oh, that's actually beautiful. We have Londo on the background. Londo, do you have anything you want to ask?
Yes, I just wanted to add for our viewers. So there's an interesting fact about Vukosi. So Vukosi is also interested in mental health and personal transformation. And in doing that, he's the founder of IMeta Consulting. So I just wanted you to tell me more about how was your experience with mental health and personal transformation to the point where you even started something to help in that field. And what does your consulting do?
Okay. Yeah. So now we're gonna get personal.
Yeah.
Okay. So IMeta Consulting speaks true to its name. IMeta.
Wow. Yeah. Yes, you
IMeta.
met her.
I
Yeah.
am important. It arose out of a very dark period in my life. So in 2016, I was at SMU at the time,
Yeah.
I lost my mom. And prior to that, so first year, 2012, actually, I lost my dad. 2016, my mom, as I was just about to finish my studies,
Yeah.
2016. And then 2019, I lost my grandmother,
Wow.
my mother's mother, the only remaining grandparent that I had. And then 2021, I lost my aunt. And then 2022, no, no, 2020, I lost my aunt, my mom's sister, Manu Hulu. And then 2021, if not two, I lost my half brother. Right. So after losing my mom, I was in a very difficult and very dark space. I had suicidal thoughts. I actually tried to kill myself 3 times.
Wow.
One time at rest. And I was just ready to end my life with a knife. And then my neighbor knocked on my door asking for sugar. And I was like, of all the times in the world, why now?
Yeah.
And you wanted to ask for sugar. Anyway, that's how I survived. So subsequently, I was diagnosed with major depression. Was then admitted at a psychiatric hospital for 3 weeks. And in there, I remember we used to have like group sessions where we'd meet together and talk about our journeys and how it came that we're here. So there was one lady, Mabatu, I will never forget that lady. So she also had suicidal thoughts. And she said to the psychiatrist and the psychologist that was facilitating the session, I don't know why I want to kill myself, but I just want to kill myself. Then I raised my hand and I said to her that you actually don't want to die. You just want the pain to go away. But I want to tell you right now that you matter.
Yeah.
You are important. You matter. And after that, my time at the psychiatric hospital, I then saw the need of being a beacon of hope and light to so many other people.
Yeah.
And that's how IMeta Consulting came to be.
Wow, beautiful. I think you just shared something that is very, very touching. And I can see that I met her myself now.
Yeah.
That obviously, everybody goes through a lot of challenges and all
Yeah.
that. I think that's a very, very beautiful initiative you started there. It's something that we definitely need. When you mentioned something about a neighbor coming to knock for sugar, you know, in physics, as physics people, there's a theory about you can be in two places at the same time. So I think you get to see that actually this physics that we are doing, it's something that plays a big role.
Is it relativity or
Yeah,
superposition?
relativity
Yes,
actually. To
yes,
be,
yes.
yeah, you know better.
I mean,
Yeah. So going back to your academic journey, a lot of students struggle with self-doubt. Obviously, you went through that yourself. What advice can you give to the students who are out there who are having like imposter syndrome? What advice can you give them?
geez, you are there for a reason. You could have been anywhere else in the world,
Yeah.
but you just had to be at that institution at this time.
Yeah.
We had to be here right now, Clinton.
Yeah.
Of all the times in the world, I could have been here last year, but it just had to be this moment, this year, 2025 in February. Why? Because there's something happening spiritually that God or the universe, whatever you believe in, Vasepansi, whoever you believe in, saw fit for us to come here today. So, as a student studying whatever you're studying and you are going through challenges, just know that you are there at this time because you're meant to be there. Go through. I remember in high school, my English teacher, Mr. Biju, he was Indian. So he would say, when you are in hell, keep on going, you know? So
Yeah.
when you are in hell, just keep on going. So it might feel like hell where you are right now, but just keep on going. Why? Because your life matters.
Wow.
And what is going to emerge out of the period that you're in right now is going to be far way better than where you come from, where you started, and where you are today.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you are going through something or a very difficult period, you feel like it's the end of the world. But when you reflect after a couple of years, you're like, okay, that was tough,
Yeah.
but I made it. I did it. Here I am today, and I've learned so many valuable lessons.
Nice, beautiful. So obviously you call yourself Dimension Dynamite.
Yes,
You've been
yes.
on TV, you've been on radio. What drew you to that place, or what made you have that thing to say, I feel like I can be an actor, I feel like I can do radio presentation and all that?
Yeah, so I call myself a multi-dimensional dynamite
Yeah.
because I'm in, geez, 6 industries.
Yeah.
Obviously, acting, broadcasting, radio. I'm there for the, what, 3 years now.
Yeah.
Eswatini as well,
Yeah.
EBIS 2. And I'm now stepping into the role of executive producing.
Okay.
We are working on a lot of exciting projects with my business partner.
Yeah.
Physics, education, and you name it. So, what drew me to entertainment or acting, TV and radio? Number one is that I'm too confident.
Okay.
Too confident.
Yeah.
And I've always been a public speaker. And it just sort of like happened to me, right? In 2014, SMU launched its radio station, SMU FM.
Yes.
Had no idea what radio broadcasting is. I went there and auditioned, and lo and behold, I was hired after a couple of months.
Yeah.
And from there on, I felt like I was at home.
Okay.
And I then, pursued many other opportunities within that space. But I remember one very, I would say, transformational moment in my life. I used to be, to some degree, an influencer.
Yeah.
So around COVID, and I was shooting a campaign for a brand. I can't mention the name because they're not paying.
Yeah.
Gotta
Yes.
pay.
Of course, yeah.
So I was at Glory City and looking all nice, dressed up and whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember this very weird moment. I don't know if it was, have you ever been in a space where you feel so disconnected?
Yeah.
Like you are there, but you're not there, type of thing.
Yeah.
And
I
I
know that
remember
feeling very well.
very well,
Yeah.
and I was standing in front of the camera, posing and trying to look nice. And a voice came into I don't know if it was just my thoughts or it was the voice of God or life, whatever. But something said to me, so available, Vukosi, is this it? Is this all to your life?
Yeah.
Really? And that's when I made the decision that I will transform my life and not allow media to use me, but use media for the betterment of myself and the world as well. So what drew me into the world of media? Number one, it attracted me, and it coincided with my confidence, my public speaking, and just my love for the camera.
Nice.
Camera.
So obviously you are more into media. If you were to have your own TV show, what would it focus on? Is it something in science? Is it something in mental health? What would it focus on?
Geez, that's a very difficult question because I'm
Yeah.
everywhere,
Yeah.
I think it would be the amalgamation of both industries.
Okay.
I have such a deep passion for psychology and science,
Yeah.
quantum psychology, actually. So if I was to have a TV show, it would also depend on the season
Okay.
of my life, right? But if I was to have a TV show right now this year, it would be about documenting just the many impactful and life-changing researches that young people are pursuing within the higher educational fraternity, right? You'd find that there are many young people at universities who have made great discoveries, but they don't have access to finance
Yeah.
to better their research. And number two, they don't have platforms to share their research that can potentially change industries and so forth. So if I was to have a TV show, it would be to document their journeys
Okay.
and with the hope of them winning money to further their research and develop their businesses. And of course, stand a chance of being hired by other industry players.
Wow, beautiful. Londo, in the moment, do you have any questions on the background? We don't want to leave you left out.
Yes,
Ghost
Yeah.
lady.
I do have some questions actually. So
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask that what are some of the biggest challenges that you faced as an entrepreneur in the mental health space?
People think and believe that mental health does not exist. I'm on Mongalalonene FM, which is the Shitsonga medium radio
Yeah.
station, right? And our demographic, it varies, but our main target audience are people that are in the villages, Emagaya.
Yeah.
So people from that space don't really believe in mental health.
Yeah.
When you speak about depression, but how no, like the moods when are you just
Yeah.
a moody person? Anxiety, no utoya ugwala. You
Yeah.
know, there ain't no such thing as anxiety. So for me, being in that space and trying to find language to use which would be relatable to such a target market has been the biggest challenge ever. And also, when you speak English like 24/7, and then now you must switch and speak in Chitsonga, like
Yeah.
pure Tsonga, it's kind of difficult.
Yeah,
So my
exactly.
biggest challenge is number one, person perception of mental health, and my age as well. I'm only 31 now.
Yeah.
But when I started the my journey in mental health, I was what, maybe 20, 26, I forgot, 26, 27. So I would have people that are like over 50 coming to my practice for a consultation. And when they see me, they're like, oh, so you're this young.
Yeah.
But I'm like, no, give me a chance. I'll show you that this young man is actually powerful and can actually help you with your issues. So yeah, stereotype number one because of age. So they think that maybe no, I have not seen the worst and the best of life. Therefore, I can't guide them through. But that is just, it's not true.
Yeah, beautiful. That's actually beautiful. So life coaching is actually becoming like a growing industry in Africa.
Yeah.
What do you think we need to do to get it to the mainstream or for it to be actually accepted? Because I don't think a lot of people look at life coaching as a career, but then it's something that's recently growing. What do you think we can do to make it into the mainstream or for it to get accepted?
Yeah. So a lot of things. I'll speak on two fronts. Number one, the what I say, the acceptance of this profession by the health regulating department of this country, the HPCSA.
Okay.
We need to find a way to regulate the life coaching industry.
Yeah.
That's the first thing, because now you get people that that actually want you specifically just because that, in my case, they've heard me on radio or seen me on TV or read an article about me and my journey. They come to me and like, hey, Mashele, we want to see you, but we don't have cash. We only have medical aid. Therefore, can we cancel you? Can we consult you?
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I don't accept medical aids because I'm not recognized by the HPCSA. So that is a major challenge. So once you have a medical aid, you don't really want to spend money on anything else related to health because your expectation is that your health needs will be covered by the medical insurance or medical aid.
Yeah.
So that is the first thing, being accepted by the HPCSA, and obviously that will come with a lot of regulation of the industry. That's the first thing. And then secondly, life coaching, it's basically like having an accountability partner who will walk the journey with you, make you aware of the pitfalls, and then also hold you accountable. So my responsibility, it is to make you aware. And once I've made you aware, you know that the code, when you know better, you do better. So I make you aware so that you can do better. And when you don't, I will hold you accountable, right? So people see it as a very unnecessary tool, whereas it's very important because your mind, your brain is your powerhouse. So there's a lot of education that has to be done about life coaching. And the psychology and psychiatry industry needs to change this stereotype that they have against, life coaches. What do you know about life, about psychology? We have to some degree study the brain. So acceptance by the community and the health regulating official of this country, and a lot of education about what life coaching is will make a difference in this country.
Yeah, definitely. I think you're actually right there. We need the HPCSAs. I think that's the first step for it to actually regulate the industry. Yeah. So, because obviously you finished your BSc degree, are you currently pursuing any academic studies? What are you doing? What's happening in your academic career?
Snap. So I'm very ambitious. I'm actually on my 5th qualification now.
Wow. Wow.
So I am back at school again. We'll
Yeah.
see how that is going to unfold with the many things that I have. But because I'm in the communication space.
Yes.
Obviously, I'm trying to, be a master at communication.
Yeah.
So I am pursuing something along those lines, and the many passions that I have. You know what they say? Keep them guessing. They will see at the end.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Londo.
Oh, yes. So I wanted to ask that part of getting life coaching to be recognized by medical aid schemes and universities, another thing that brought interest is the fact that you're interested in neuro-linguistic programs. So I wanted you to talk a little more about it and just explain it to us and what it is for the general public that do not know what it is.
Okay, so NLP, neuro linguistics programming, it is basically the study of how the mind interacts with our being.
Okay.
Right? We always say that the mind and body have a systematic relationship. So, what affects the mind will ultimately affect your body.
Yes.
So, we go deep into the brain to reprogram your subconscious thoughts, the beliefs that you hold about yourself, for yourself, and your life as well. So, we work with you from a unconscious and subconscious level to reprogram those things. There are many learners, you would know, Clinton, being in academia, that learners who believe that they're stupid and they will never make it.
True.
Somebody said to them that they're stupid at some point in their life, and they believe that lie, right? And because of the belief that they held for so many years, that thought has become one with who they are. And now they walk around unconsciously believing that they are actually stupid. Hence, such people, to some degree, barely succeed. So with NLP, we work with you to basically reprogram you from a subconscious level and figure out where those negative beliefs about you emanate from. Was it your parents or somebody at school or a friend? And then after uncovering the genesis of those thoughts, we then work with you to change them through quite a number of techniques. So that is basically what NLP is.
Okay.
It's kind of similar to hypnosis, but with a lot of psychology.
Wow. Mentioning that, I don't know if you remember, like, you see, they do this mostly in like primary. Let's say we talk about grade 8. You will have grade 8, A, B, C. I think there was a theory that they made that in A, they put the smart students together. In B, middle smart. In C, the lowest. Do you think that's a good thing to do for schools? Or do we need to go back and reprogram on how we structure our students together?
Yeah, difficult question, Oak.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
Mainly because what does stupid mean?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We have learners that are gifted differently.
Yeah.
We have fast learners, we have slow learners, we have learners with learning challenges. We have learners that quite the academic journey is influenced by psychosocial factors, abuse at home, unstable backgrounds, poverty, and unfortunately, as a black people, that is our reality. So now, if schools, even white people, or racist, I don't want to be stereotypical, So, to some degree, schools forget to look into those factors before they factor learners in accordance to their mental capacity, without really understanding where they come from and why they don't really underperform. I am not by any means excusing mischievous behavior, because we do have learners that are quite naughty, right? But discipline can work that out. And what I have uncovered through my work with the South African Institute of Physics, you'd find that learners that are grouped into, let's say, the not so much smart class, they are very disruptive in their behavior. They don't perform well academically, and they hold such a negative perception of self or self-image just because they fall under that not so smart class. So that is quite lethal, dangerous for the trajectory of their lives. Because once you put them in that class, there's a law in psychology which is something about unconscious belief. I think it was developed by Ivan Pavlov. Just conditioning, classical conditioning. So a learner would then believe that okay, they're stupid. Therefore, why should they work hard? There's no need, right?
Yeah.
So that system is flawed. There has to be a way of identifying why learners.
All right. So because we were just talking about, learners who are in separated grade 8A, 8B, speaking about what do we need to improve. Please, you can just share more.
Yeah. So as I was saying, we need to understand. Number one, we need to uncover what the word intelligence means, because there's so many factors that contribute to intelligence, right? Psychosocial issues, genetic issues, your learning style, and so forth and so forth. So what I have come to realize is that a lot of schools don't put emphasis in understanding a learner's learning style. We have learners that learn by looking at stuff, or visual learners, learners that learn by listening, like myself. I'm a what is it? Auditory learner.
Okay, yeah.
Kinesthetic, those who learn by doing things. So understand a learner's learning style or their learning representational system, and then group them in accordance to that. Not go, this one is smart and that one is, not so smart.
Wow, beautiful. I think this is actually giving me like a better way forward as a lecturer on how can I actually lecture better. I need to understand how do my learners or my student learn. Are they observation or they need to be looking at a video? So this is actually good. Londo, do you have any questions?
Yes, I also wanted to comment on that this thing of also separating learners, it is actually a disadvantage too, because imagine you have grade 12A, B, and C. C being what we deem as the least performing, right? So it means that all the A students are located in A. So does it mean that the ones who are in C, they are actually they don't get a chance to teach each other, because basically you have put them in the same level, so there's no one who's performing better who can kind of assist and say, today let me stand up and teach you guys. So I feel as if it's also a call out to schools to combine these learners so that they build each other. The one who's less academically performing can be boosted by the one who's doing better. Okay, so in rounding up, I just wanted to ask, what advice would you give to young Africans who also want to start a business in the self-development industry?
Know your why. Know your why. And most importantly, be tenacious. Be tenacious. Have courage. It is not an easy industry. It's unlike, selling you water. You can hold that water with your hand. When I'm selling you transformation and healing, okay, where is the value exchange here? So know your why. Be flipping good at what you do. Invest in yourself. Invest in your skills. Never stop learning. And have the courage to just keep on going, because you will be faced with a lot of no's, a lot of doubts, a lot of setbacks, but just know your why. Then you're going to be okay.
Beautiful. So, of course, you have a lot of awards. I'm not going to go to all of them. There's quite a lot of them. But there's one that you were recently nominated. I think you won. You may correct me there.
Yes,
South African Shining Stars. Can you tell us about that? What was the award for? You were recently nominated for that one.
Wow, thank you so much. Yes, it's been a journey. Hey, so it is actually my 5th award in 5 consecutive years.
Wow.
I mean,
just joking.
In 5 consecutive years. So last year it was the Mail and Guardian, Young 200 Powerful South Africans. And then this year it's 100 Shining South African Stars. So the award, it is to recognize young people that are making a tangible difference in the communities, in the country eventually, through their projects and the many businesses that they might have. So for me, I was recognized for the work that I do within the health space, particularly mental health space. So that's what the award is about. My 5th one. Damn it.
Wow, congratulations, man. Congratulations. It means you're really making a big impact there. Really proud of you. You're an inspiration. I see you wearing a very, very beautiful tie there, Vusi-as. can you tell us about what is Vusi-as?
Ah, my baby.
Yeah.
Yes. Vusi-as.
Yeah.
Vukosi Vusi-as. You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Yeah, makes sense.
So I'm one person who is very clean. I like looking good. I believe how you present yourself speaks volumes before you even open your mouth.
Yeah.
People have already concluded or drawn an inference about who you are before you even speak to them by virtue of how you look and how you dress. So before I walk into any space that I go into, the way that I look will speak for me on my behalf.
And it's speaking right now.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
CEO
yeah.
vibes, that's what I want to give wherever I go. So Vusi-as came out of the interest, number one, of creating a streamlined shopping for men. Because as jitters, we don't like shop hopping. Going to that shop to buy body lotion, there to buy a belt, there to buy a shoe, there to buy whatever. So I want to create, or I'm creating a streamlined shopping experience where when you come into my shop, oh universe, make it happen. When you come into my space, you will get shoes, formal shoes, a tie, body lotion, beard stuff like a beard oils, beard creams, body lotion. And then eventually, you'll be able to cut your hair as well. And maybe I will have like a little bit of a coffee corner or a banyana. So that after a long day of work, you can just go there, unwind, have a drink, cut your hair, shop, then you go home. And also, for people that are really busy like yourself, you don't really have time to walk around different shops and looking for so many things and then cut your hair. After cutting your hair, then you go home. So let's say you only have 30 minutes and you're traveling to Cape Town, for example, and you need shoes, you gotta get a haircut, you come into my shop, you get all of those things. Within 30 minutes, you go back to your work. The following day, you fly.
Wow.
So Vusi-as has been in the works for the past, let's say 3 years. I've been experimenting on different formulas. And the number one mistake that I made as an entrepreneur was to launch before I was actually ready.
Wow. Would you say that looking at your academic journey and the entrepreneurial journey, do you see any connection, like the challenges you went through as an academia, as a student, and also being an entrepreneur? Would you say, are they similar challenges and do you overcome them the same way?
Yes. Number one, tenacity. Number one, definitely, because being an entrepreneur is not easy. There are a lot of challenges there. So tenacity is the common thread. And my journey in entrepreneurship actually was inspired by my parents. My parents were teachers, but my father had a nyana farm. He would sell vegetables, cabbage and carrots and tomatoes. My mom would cook and sell to students and so forth. As a teacher, though. So being raised, it's what we call in psychology social learning. So I was raised in such an entrepreneurial background where one stream of income was never enough. So that principle stayed with me, and hence I am where I am today. But to answer your question, the common thread is tenacity, and of course, always going back to the drawing board, learning lessons from your mistakes, and trying to find innovative ways to overcome those lessons. Those challenges or failures.
Yeah. Beautiful. Any last questions you have, Linda?
I do not have any. I just wanted to remind our subscribers that please do not forget to comment. So I have a question for you. Vukosi mentioned that he owns a certain consulting agency. So I just want you to comment down below and tell us the name of that consulting agency. And in doing that, please also don't forget to like this episode and also share it to a friend, share it to a family member, share it to your school group, and let them hear some of these good things we are hearing today.
Thank you, Linda. Vukosi, it's been an honor to have you here, man. I'm really inspired, looking forward to some of the endeavors that you're going to. I can't wait to have you back here, more especially with you said you're enrolled for other qualifications. Just want to hear more about that. Just wanted to say thank you for coming through, for taking your time to grace us with your presence. Thank you for that, man. Anyone, please make sure you check out Vukosi's life coaching. What's the website?
www.imetac.com.
So anyone who's looking for life coaching, please do check it out. You'll be able to look, see everything. Vusi-as also will be launching very soon. Do check it out. Thank you for taking your time to watch this episode. Until the next one.
Before you go, I just want to give you your flowers. Right?
Okay.
You know, sometimes because we as people are really focused on the next thing, the next thing, the next thing, we never stop to thank ourselves and acknowledge just how far we have come. This podcast is really groundbreaking, innovative, very much necessary for the country that we live in, the times that we live in. And I love the fact that you went through your academic journey without any any break or intermission in between. And here you are at a very young age, just about to make history again.
Wow.
So I just want to say that I'm proud of you. I see you. We got you. We support you.
Wow.
And you can only get better from here.
Wow.
No matter what happens, keep on going. And please subscribe, listen, tune in. If you are a high school student not knowing what to do, or even a university student, this podcast is for you. So thank you for initiating such a groundbreaking initiative. And to the top we go.
Thank you so much, Vukosi. Thank you. I can't say thank you enough for that. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Peace out. Until the next one, guys. Out.